want to introduce our keynote speaker, Ms. Tamara Houston. Mrs. Houston has a Bachelor's of Art from Michigan State, when upon graduation in 1994, she left there and embarked in a career in marketing in Philadelphia. After she wed Alan Houston, who's here supporting me and taking pictures, so say hello. Thank you. She started a family. She found herself the opportunity to mentor children at an at-risk school, which opened up her interest in education, which she then pursued by obtaining a Master's of Science in Education and taught for 3 years. She is presently a mother to 7 children, ranging from college age to first grade, and exercising what I believe to be women's true superpowers, raising human beings. Mrs. Houston, we cannot thank you enough for being here and sharing your voice and vision with our young scholars.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction. That was awesome. Well, I hope you all enjoyed your wonderful lunch from this wonderful school. Arriving, since the time I arrived this morning at 8:45, I was greeted by a wonderful young scholar. And she so eloquently and confidently took me through the school and told me a little bit about each department here. And she did it with such ease. And I have to attribute that to the wonderful environment that you all are privileged to be in. You young ladies have a powerful destiny ahead of you. And I believe that we were all meant to be in this room together right now at this time. And I feel very honored to now be a part of your lives. And when I found out that I was going to come here today, it was through a text message from Mr. Scott. And I've heard a few of you talk about your relationship with Mr. Scott and how you felt so comfortable talking to him as one of your deans. And I too had that same experience when I met Mr. Scott. He was so easy to talk to, and he was a light. He was a true light. And he's also taught some of my children in basketball, and for them, he has been a light. And so, when I received the text from Mr. Scott to come here today, I was excited, and I couldn't wait. I love young people. I dedicated much of my time before kids to serving young people. None of you asked to be here in this world, but you were created to be here in this world. And every one of you is fearfully and wonderfully made to do something great in this world. And when I say fearfully, I don't mean to be afraid. I mean that your bodies are so uniquely created. Every cell, every blood vessel. Now, how many of you have taken science? I got to hear a wonderful bit about the sciences that you all study. So I know that you studied part of the anatomy of the human body. So you have a little bit of knowledge of all of the systems that have to come together every second you take a breath. And that's what I mean by fearfully. Your bodies are fierce. You all are going to do something awesome. And I just wanted to say, when I found out I was coming, I thought about my own children and how they're all so different. Even though they have the same mom and dad, each of my children has their own unique disposition. From the sound of their voice to the color of their skin. They're all different. All of you ladies are different. You all have a different purpose and a different calling, and you're going to do something with that uniqueness. Now, there are, how many of you, who knows how many people approximately are on this planet Earth? Can you take a guess? Yes. You're absolutely right. There's about 7.5 billion people walking this earth, and not one has your DNA. Now, how many of you know what DNA is? Everyone. Yes. Anyone? Who would like to tell me what they think DNA is? Yes. Your blood type? Yes, it is. Definitely. Your genes? Yes. The genetic material in your body. So your DNA predetermines every single thing about you. And out of 7.5 billion people walking this planet, not one has your DNA. So you are fearfully made to do something great. Now some of you might say, well, what is great? How do you measure great? How do you measure it? Now we can talk about my husband, right? His DNA enabled him, when he blended all of his particular genetic material, his gifts and talents, he was a superior athlete. He has a gold medal. I do not. And I probably never will. But that doesn't mean that I'm not great. I just don't have his DNA. So young ladies, be careful how you measure yourselves. In fact, I will go so far as to say, never measure yourself according to someone else's DNA. Because you'll never measure up. Never. Because you're your own person, meant to do your own thing, and to do something great. Now, what I really want to communicate to you is really two things. The first is your uniqueness. And in your uniqueness, you were created by someone in love. With love. Okay? So you're here because someone thought enough of this world to bring you into it. Now, I'm not talking about a person, but we can talk afterwards if you would like for me to share a little bit more about that. But you're here because it was meant for you to be here. There are no mistakes when it comes to people, okay? You're all meant to be here. And here's the other thing I want to share with you. We are all meant to love each other, to build each other up. And that is exactly what I believe Miss Stern, when she had the vision of creating such a school as this, and the wonderful teachers who come every single day, they must really love you. And they're committed to educating you, and to propelling you, and to ushering you towards your destiny. Now there's a difference between love and like, because some days I may not like my husband, okay? But I love him. I love him unconditionally. Love is something that has no conditions. And we are all supposed to love one another. And I love the story that one of the young ladies who just spoke not too long ago. She said, when you see someone who's down, pick them up. Use your voice to say something good. When I was in middle school, I think that was probably one of my most awkward times in life. Your body, as you all have said, you've studied a little bit of, is going through so many exponential changes. It's developing very rapidly. And it's kind of hard to get a harness of all this new stuff going on. You know, for us, maybe, for boys, it's your voice. For us, it's our bodies. We're going through chemical processes and many things. And it takes a minute for you to kind of find your groove. So I remember when I was trying to find my groove in middle school. Every time I arrived, there was a young lady in my grade. As soon as I walked through the door, she looked like she could take my head off. And so I always tried to avoid that side of the hallway she was on, or sit on the other side of the cafeteria. Or if she was on the playground on the swings, then I wanted to be on the field playing kickball. I did all that I could to avoid this young girl who I thought wanted to take my head off. So one day, kind of things erupted. I was walking down the hallway, and then there was some exchange. The art teacher, thank God, saw, and she called us in to speak with her before the lesson. And she said, in your own words, basically using our voice, tell me, what is going on? Why do you two act like you can't stand each other? And so, lo and behold, what was finally discovered, the young lady wanted me to say hi to her. Just say hi. Smile. Ask her if she wanted to sit with me at lunch. So one of the young ladies said, if you see somebody who's not really looking so happy, pick them up. Love one another. And I would be also remiss if I didn't also talk about these years that you're going through. Sometimes there's a lot of pressure, a lot of peer pressure. And we talked about this in one of the workshops. You've got to have a resource or some sort of inner resilience to help you withstand some of the pressures. Now, I'm almost 50 years old, and I still have moments where I have to find a way to get through. And through perseverance, either finding someone outside, like a teacher, or a doctor, or your mom and dad, or your best friend. Find someone to help you get through. Or think about how fearfully and wonderfully you were made to persevere and find that inside of you and get through. But I think about, and what you'll see in your bags are the precious stones. A diamond. Now, diamonds are mined from way down, 15 meters, even more down in the earth. And when those diamonds come out, they don't look like, that's not a real diamond. They don't look like that. They have a lot of raw material, dirt, everything that has been kind of growing on them and around them for centuries. And the diamond has to be put through an extreme amount of pressure. And that pressure starts to break off or loose some of that raw material. And then the diamond, it has to be burned. And that then starts to purify it. And then it's cut. So it can refract, or reflect light. And so that's the last thing I want to leave you with. You're all diamonds, meant to reflect light, goodness. Because after all, you were created fearfully to do something great. So, when you get up in the morning, I would like for you, if you choose, to take that diamond, because as you all are being purified and going through the process of becoming the greatest light you can be, hold that diamond in your hand. And I want you to look in the mirror. And I want you to, in your own voice, say to yourselves, I am a diamond. Some of you have heard the phrase, diamond in the rough. I'm still a diamond in the rough, and like I say, I'm almost half of a century old. But I'm still becoming that light that I was designed to be. I'm still becoming that diamond. So, when you get up in the morning, hold that diamond in your hand, look in the mirror, and say to yourself, I am a